My name is Rahul Sharma. I've been in the corporate America for 20 years, transforming people, transforming leaders, and ensuring that people who wants to move to the next level, they take steady steps. It's all about taking steps. We all may be great individuals, but if we have to the next level, we have to work as one team. Before we get started, a quick note. The opinions expressed here are my own and those of my guest. This conversation is intended for informational and educational purposes only. Always seek expert guidance for your unique situation. And I'm also pleased to inform you that NESDA Global is a proud sponsor for this season's podcast. Thank you, NESDA.
Ever wondered what it's like to have an offshore team working for you right here in the Philippines?
I work with a Canadian client. NESDA provides me everything from workstation, a stable internet, and HR support, and a team that feels like family.
Working with NESDA's workforce outsourcing team is fast-paced, exciting, at times challenging, but that's exactly what makes it rewarding. It's an opportunity to collaborate with people from diverse culture, gain new knowledge and skills, and be part of a team that supports clients across the globe. We are NESDA Workforce Outsourcing.
Thinking of expanding your global team? Email us at contactus@nesdaglobal.com.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Climb, the Confident Leader podcast, where we share stories of leaders moving from invisible to becoming an influencer. Today, I have a guest, which is the first time in all the recordings, who is very local to the place where I live in, is the DC metro area. Yeah. She's a dynamic leader renowned for transforming powerhouse businesses into companies that run smoothly without the need of a daily intervention by its leader. How cool that is. She's known for team building and scaling architect who boasts over 40 years in finance and over $400 million in revenue generated. She's known exactly how to build wealth through strategic team scaling, sustainable systems, and high impact leadership that has helped over 8,000 entrepreneurs throughout the globe. She's a celebrated Amazon #1 best-selling author, a podcaster, a TV host, where she delivers real transformation, not just fast profit. So her clients achieve both business success and personal fulfillment. She cherishes her life in the countryside, enjoying local wineries, ballroom dancing, and quality time with the family. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one and only Jen Du Plessis in our show. Jen, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's so funny because I think I've only interviewed someone once, local as well. It's so funny.
Yeah. And our area is so huge. Still, we don't come across people. The only time we come across like-minded people is in chamber meetings, actually.
Right. That's usually it. That's usually when we can get to them, at least for me,
Correct. Yes. It's been, I have not opened my account in 25 yet. 24, I was very diligent in going for the meetings, but probably the Q4 is when I will start again.
Yeah.
Jen, tell us about your leadership journey. You have been doing some amazing work based on working with many entrepreneurs. Give us a gist of your leadership journey from where you were yesterday and how you came where you are today.
Oh, wow. Well, yesterday was 30 years ago. It was quite some time ago. And, I remember the first time I got promoted, to a leader, I was horrible. I remember the day almost distinctly. It was all about controlling and, now I'm the man and, all of that. And just throughout the years, I had lots of management training. I had lots of leadership training. Later, became the trainer for the managers and the leaders. And just watching and feeling, because there's a feeling in leadership as well, feeling my emotional intelligence transform. It's about the emotional intelligence that you gain as a leader through that process. So now it's so natural to me and I'm sure that's what, how it is with you as well. It becomes very natural to be a leader over time. So, for me, I was in a man's world in mortgage lending, very few female leaders. And, I had to step up and try to pretend to be someone else and I wasn't authentic for many, many years. And it wasn't until again, that emotional intelligence popped in and I realized, hey, I've got something unique and different that others don't have. It's not being a woman, it's being me, right? It's being me. And, my genius zone in leadership is the ability to respond and not react to literally every question I'm asked.
Wow. Very good. Respond, not react. That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
great. And I think that's what makes a difference in a crisis situation.
Oh, absolutely.
When you are reacting, not responding, you are not pausing. And when you are not pausing, you are just throwing everything and anything that is coming to your mind without knowing the implication of those aspects. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then your stress level increases. Everyone around you increases stress level. And, we have to be the ones who are just steady as she goes. We let all the chaos ensue around us, but we have to be the steady as she goes.
sure. And I think that's the differentiation between a good leader and a great leader.
Yeah.
How to evaluate those kind of situation. What kind of mindset shift you had to go through to become the leader that you are today?
Well, it's funny that you're asking what a mindset shifted. For so long, I thought everything was mechanics, right? Just the mechanics of being a manager, the mechanics of being a leader. Just, call people, make sure you're smiling at people, make sure you're meeting people. There was a period of time where I didn't want to talk to people. I avoided people because I don't like conflict, right? So I avoided people. And what I realized is that I came up with a new slogan, which is mindset plus mechanics equals momentum. So that was by and large its own mindset shift, is that it's not just about the mechanics. You have to have the person behind everything that you're doing as well. You can go to lots of leadership training and learn the mechanics of it. Learn personality profiling, learn situational leadership. You can do all of those things. But if you don't have a mindset attached to it that you're serving people, that they are people, they have emotions and they have families, and you're there to serve them and to help them get their goals too, that's where the momentum for the company will come in together. So it's odd that you're saying, what was my mindset shift, but it was actually just discovering this formula that became my mindset shift of, wait a minute, it's not just do, it's be.
Wow. And that's where I see a lot of people struggle because
Yeah.
they just want to do. They do not want to focus on becoming the person that they
Yeah.
should be. And a great formula that you discover is mindset plus mechanics equal momentum. So thank
Yeah.
you for bringing that up. That was another golden nugget that was dropped by you. The other golden nugget that I learned from you is respond, not react. So thank you, Jen, for sharing those things.
Yeah, no problem. One of the things I just want to say about that too is that the do is being a manager. There's a key difference between management and leadership. Management is task oriented. And a lot of people become entrepreneurs and they stay in that practitioner mode, right? Where they're task, because that's all they know and remember. And maybe they weren't even a manager or a leader in their previous job, but they felt, hey, I could do a better job making widgets. So I'm going to open up my own widget making company and I'm still going to make widgets instead of stepping into the leadership role, which is about the vision. It's about empowering people rather than enabling and task orientation and checking off the list.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a major distinction there that people need to understand. And I think we need both, as leaders.
Absolutely. And And just doing things is important, because as leaders, our job is to get things done,
Mm.
not necessarily doing, but yes, getting things done. And so I agree, both the things are very, very important.
Yeah.
And Jen, I know that you are also, I don't know if someone has given you the name, but when I was reviewing your bio, this name comes to my mind, Scaling Queen. You help business scale. And when you are helping these organizations, I noticed that resilience is core to the scale. So when you work with your clients, entrepreneurs, how you support those leaders in through the high growth season, when the stress is at peak, when they are stressing out, how do
Yeah.
you help them?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing, and I was just experiencing this yesterday with a coaching call, someone who just has no time, right? I have no time, no time, no time. And we hear this quite a bit, with people that are on the brink of discovering what you and I are going to talk about soon here, right? Working in and on versus above and beyond your business. She's on the brink of this, right? And this shift that she's making and how you can, sustain this resilience is to move from control to trust,
Mm.
right? It's the control factor that we have all this control and she even said this, I built the relationships. I sold the product. I this. And all I kept thinking is me, 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 right? And no one really cares. I hate saying it, but listen in, everybody, right? No one cares about you. They care about how you made them feel through your business process. And your job as a leader is to create systems that allow for the client to be compelled to tell everybody else about you. So you're building the system. It's not you, it's what you built. I mean, if that were the case, and every time you go into Starbucks, the CEO you'd have to stand there and wait for him to fly there so that he could help you because he built it. Right. And that's like what happened. What he did is he built an experience that takes us to Starbucks or McDonald's or Walmart or wherever we go, right? Because we have that experience. So that system comes in. So I call it letting go to grow. Letting go to grow. You have to release the control and step into trust. And it really means trading perfectionism for excellence, right? It's trading urgency for intention. And it's trading hustle for harmony, right? Hustle into harmony. And again, going back to what I learned, as a leader myself, is responding, right? Resilient leaders, they know how to pause in pressure. They know how to pause and stand back. They know how to step back and reconnect to their purpose. What are we trying to accomplish here, right? And that recalibrates obviously their energy, right? So their energy can continue to be there, so they're not in a constant burnout,
Absolutely.
So I think that's the biggest thing is, just to make sure that you understand that to be resilient, you've got to give up the control and start trusting other people.
Wow. And I think what you are also bringing it up is how to be on the passenger seat for some time. It's not always about being in a driver's
Yeah,
seat.
that's
And
right.
that's one of the common mistake we leaders do. And I'm also party to it that, hey, you are a leader. You always have to be in the driver's seat. But
Right.
probably when you are in those high mountain region, probably there could be someone else in your team who would be a better driver in that region or in that curves and turns.
Yeah.
And as a leader, you need to let go. So thank you for bringing that up. That is a bigger roadblock I see in many leaders where they don't give up. They just keep going and keep doing things, even if they are not the right seat on the table. So
Yeah. Well, and you know why is because we have this thought that we're perfect, right? When we handle or can take care of 1 or 5 clients and we know our process A to Z, right? And it's in our head, it's not written down, that's a flaw. But our process is A to Z and we know it really well. But when we start injecting new people, right? When we get to capacity, what we don't realize is that we still see ourselves as being perfect. what's happening is you become the bottleneck in your own business. You are the bottleneck, because where you were once performing at 100% capacity, because of the volume of business that you're bringing in now, you're actually performing at 60, 62, 74%, 48%. You're performing less in all kinds of areas where you're bottlenecking, and yet you won't hire someone who's performing 1 degree better because they're not good enough. Right? Because you see that no one can do it as good as you, but the news is you're not doing it that well. It's already not working. How's that working?
Yes, so you really need to take a step back. And in one of the program I was at, the professor who was taking the class or training session, he mentioned the view from the balcony. How as leaders we need to have that view from the balcony, is looking at macro things rather than just looking at things that you can see
Yeah.
at a surface level. You go in a location where probably it is little higher than others, and then you see how things are happening. So
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
bringing that up.
Yeah.
Jen, you talk a lot about, and you mentioned earlier about this leading above and beyond.
Yeah.
Can you share what that does mean for today's organization, today's leaders? Give them some tips on how they can also
Yeah.
above and beyond.
Well, we all know this phrase of, don't work in your business, work on your business. I believe that we can leave both in and on behind and move from that into above and beyond. I have a masterclass called Hustle to Harmony. Whenever you're working in and on, you're in the hustle. When you're working or living above and beyond, you're in harmony, right? So the transition, the in is all about me, right? We're all about you. You're doing everything. I just explained that, right? You're doing everything from A to Z. It's you, and the buck stops with you. The marketing stops with you. Everything is you. The transition to on for me, and how I'm describing this, is when you start hiring a few people, right? You start hiring them. Typically, a business owner, unless they have their systems put in place, this is where they oscillate between in and on for years. I hired someone, they were awful. I'll do it myself. I don't want to hire a team because they all are terrible at what they do. But see, the thing is, we're finger pointing and not thumb pointing at ourselves. We're not providing our team members with the skills and the resources that they need, the ability and willingness, right? The resources that they need to be successful. And that usually stems from not having your own systems in place. So someone comes on, they don't know what to do. And so every phone call, everything has to come to you. They have to go to mommy, they have to go to daddy. And so you're enabling your team members, not empowering them. You're enabling them. So just as you try to leave the office, you're tethered back in because you didn't give them the resources to be able to solve the problems that they have, to be able to delegate. You didn't delegate properly, right? There's a lot of things, a lot of pieces that I could unpack here.
Sure.
But that's the in and on. But then when you've had enough, you've had enough and said, okay, there's got to be a better way, because now you're knee deep in your business. It becomes a burden and not a blessing, right? And you say, I've had enough. This is where the magic hits. And I call it leap, right? It's a leap of faith. But this is where the magic happens, where you say, hey, I need to hone in and enhance and develop my own leadership and management skills and my delegation skills and my system skills. I need to really ramp up me so that I can be above my business to empower my team to speak on my behalf. And this is why when you go to McDonald's, they say, can I take your order? This is why when you go to Starbucks, they say, what can we get started for you? This is why when you go to Walmart, they say, welcome to Walmart, right? It's all by design. It's 3 V's, right? Voice, values, right? The 2: voice, values, and vision. Those 3 things in your business, when you know your vision and you've shared it with your team, when you know what the core values are for your business, not your person, your business, and you shared that with your team, and then you shared your voice, Are you humorous? Do you use emojis? Are you professional? Do you use foul language? What are the words you use? I just use mindset plus mechanics equals momentum. I use that all the time. So my team says that. Right. And now it becomes my voice and allows me to live above my business and not be in the minutia. I can choose to be in my business for a new product. I can choose to work on my business to fix a mechanical issue in my conveyor belt, right? My system. I can choose that rather than have to or get to.
Sure. So focus on more on moving on the business, not moving in the business. Moving in the business is more doing things your way, and moving on is building the system, building the process, so that even if you're not there, things are going forward. You
Yeah,
are not becoming a
developing the
bottleneck.
methods. Yeah, the first in is you, it's me, right? On is the methods, that's your system. So you're developing those with your team members as you grow them on. And then above becomes the 3V's so that you can tether away from the daily minutia of your business and empower that team to have real ownership and speak on your behalf. They don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
It's a rhythm, right? It's this rhythm of being a visionary instead of a task rabbit all the time.
Yeah.
You don't scale by doing more, you scale by leading better.
Mhm. One of the aspect that I've seen in many organization is the mindset of the leaders is, if you are on vacation, if your team does well, you tend to think, then why will I be required? My company will let me go. That kind of insecurity is there, and that's the reason why people tend to keep information to themselves so that their team members come to them. Now
Yeah,
that is could be a biggest mindset block,
it is.
or maybe a blind spot for you,
Yeah.
because in my opinion, if you are not there and if your team is doing well, I mean, that's a great sign of you being a leader. Team is in autopilot mode. So change your mindset from, being where everyone is coming to you versus everyone is doing things in autopilot mode.
Yeah,
So
that's a
that's what,
power trip. Yeah,
yes.
that is a power trip, right? Again, letting go to grow.
Mm,
Moving from that control factor to trust. And if you're not trusting your people, that's on you.
mm,
That's not on them, right? That means that there's a commitment issue because you're wishy-washy in your management style and your leadership style. And so there's a management issue, or I mean, a commitment issue. And it's your willingness, where you find people, they aren't willing to help you because you're Attila the Hun all the time. That's one thing, right? The other is, what is their ability? You may have hired, and that's a whole other story about hiring, right? But you may have hired someone who has a title and you expect that they know how to do the job because they had the title in the previous place, but
mm.
you haven't trained them the way you want it done,
Sure.
right? And if they're lacking, it's because you're avoiding.
Mm.
And give
Good
it to me,
point.
I'll just do it. Just give it to me, I'll just do it. You're avoiding. Yeah.
And when you say that, you think in your mind that you are helping them, but the irony is you're not.
You're enabling and not empowering. Yeah.
You're still becoming a bottleneck. So Jen, the listeners, how and what one leadership habit, if you have to advise
Yeah.
them to adopt in making sure that they are scaling up their presence and performance, what would that be?
Yeah. That's super easy for me. Boundaries. That's my leadership habit, right? I have to set them, I have to hold them, and I have to honor them. Again, I was just having this conversation in my group coaching yesterday about that same person who said, I don't have time, I don't have time. And I said, you don't have boundaries. You don't have any boundaries whatsoever. She's a single mom of 3 kids, working her fingers to the bone till 9 o'clock every single night. A single mom of 3 little girls. And I said, well, what did they say? And she said, well, I don't know. And I go, what's dinner look like? And she said, well, we order out a lot and I don't cook, and all of these things. And I'm going, well, wait a minute, you don't have boundaries. You have to set boundaries. So from this day forward, you get to work 2 nights a week. That's it. And tell your girls hey, I'm only working 2 nights a week, and let them hold you accountable since you're not holding yourself accountable, right? It's not just about blocking your time, which I think is really important. It's priority management. I think it's that, but it's also protecting the capacity that you have, because you're no good to anyone if you're completely burned out. Burnout is broke, right? Burnout is broke. So start with just one boundary per week. Maybe it's a power hour or a deep dive hour or something like that, where you say no to everything. No distractions. Turn off your phone, turn off your email, whatever it is. Tell your team so they can help you achieve that, because they will rise to those standards. They want to help you. And I think that it's important that people know that boundaries are not a selfish thing, right? They are not a selfish thing. They're actually this, it's the pillar, it's the platform that allows for success, because nothing will stand in your way, right? Nothing will stand in your way when you have your boundaries set. It's okay to say no. It's okay. And if that client doesn't like it, then find another client who will, right? That there's plenty out there for everybody, right? There's plenty out there. And, I had to set boundaries. I ask people all the time, what are your core values? And my clients will tell me family, as if it's a question. Well, if your core value is family, then what are the boundaries you're setting around it to ensure that your family comes first?
Sure.
Boundaries.
Wow.
Because you're setting an example to everybody.
The team leaders, boundary is one of those habits that will really help you to scale up your performance and your presence. Now, if our listeners, leaders want to bring you in the mix, want to take your help, attend your mastermind, or send their leaders to your mastermind, what's the most effective way for them to connect with you and work with you?
Yeah, the most effective way is to go to my website, jenduplessis.com. You can also go to ladyjenduplessis.com. They both go to the same place. And just fill out the contact form and we'll get in touch with you right away. That's the best way to connect with me.
Awesome. Yeah. And we will include her website on the show notes, so that it's easier for you to connect with Jen.
Yeah.
So Jen, we are coming towards the end of our episode. And before we let you go, we have this fun rapid fire segment where we ask 5 questions and we would want you to just, without thinking too much, give your responses. You ready for it?
Yep, I'm ready.
Awesome. One quotation that you live by.
One quotation that I live by, create a work life that makes life work.
Create a work life that makes life work. Awesome. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm a morning person.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
What's one daily routine you never skip?
Never skip. Gratitude journal.
Gratitude journal.
Yeah.
What's one leadership skill you wish someone would have taught you earlier?
Listening.
Right. Last one. If your career were a Netflix series, what would be the title of season 1 be?
Oh, if it were Netflix series, the title. Well, let's see. Live your legacy while you're building it.
Ooh, live your legacy while you're building it. That's great. All right. So over the last 30 minutes, Jen, you dropped so many golden nuggets throughout the episode. I have gathered few and I will share with our listeners. And this is time for you, listeners, watchers, whoever you are, time for you to pen down what is the biggest learning. What is one thing you're taking away from this episode, and put it in comments. For me, number 1 was respond, not react. As a leader, that is very, very key for us. Mindset plus mechanics equal momentum. That was the biggest learning for me from this episode. It's just not about mindset. It's plus mechanics that will give you momentum to make things better for you. One of the common mistake most of the leaders do is they do not let go to grow. Yes. So we need to learn how to let go, how to be on the passenger seat from time to time. Turning perfectionist into excellence, hustle into harmony. Those were some amazing quotations or golden nuggets that were dropped. And by the way, Jen has a class, a mastermind class on hustle to harmony. So if you're a hustler leading towards not harmony, attend her class so that you can really move towards harmony.
Yeah.
Towards the last, you mentioned about in and out. So moving in the business is more about you. Moving on the business is about building those systems, building that method to the madness. That's really make you more indispensable, I would say, and more effective to make a difference.
Yeah.
Last 3 V's: voice, vision, and value. These
Yeah.
are the 3 V's that you need to keep in mind. You need to make sure that it is very, very clear to your people. And the one leadership habit that we were just talking about is the boundaries. Set up boundaries for your people, for your family, for your leaders, for anyone who's interacting with you, so that you get that uninterrupted time to focus on what you need to do. Your self-care, or maybe it could be a power hour to work on a report or work on a presentation, whatever it may be, boundary. So Jen, it has been a pleasure to have you here to learn from the great things that you have done. On while moving out of the show, what is one thing, word of wisdom that you want to share with our listeners?
I would say working harder. How's that working? How's that working for you, right? Working harder. The great Les Brown says, if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what's hard, your life will be easy. He's not talking about working harder, longer hours. He's talking about doing the hard work for a short period of time so that the rest of your life could be easy. You don't rise by grinding harder, you rise by leading higher. So not working harder, but working higher.
Yeah. Wow. So don't focus on just hardworking, and don't get Jen wrong. It's not that she's not against hardworking. It's about just do not just focus on hardworking. Just do not focus on putting those 12, 14 hours. Focus on those grinding of working hours for a short period of time so that you can have a better life.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Another golden nugget while you were stepping out from the show, Jen. Thank you again. We
Thank you for
wish you all the success, and may all our listeners come to you and take your help to really scale up, to really grow their business.
Yeah. No, we'd love it. Yeah, we'd love to see everybody there because we're so excited about Hustle to Harmony because we just see it so much, right? We see people so much in this hustle, and that's not what we intended to be business owners for. And that's not why we want to be leaders. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.